And first out of the gate here live right now on the WHAS 11 team, you're watching the progression of the heavy soaking flooding rains over Kentucky and southern Indiana starting very early tomorrow morning. Now this is our Futurecast radar, which is taking you right to what to expect on Saturday. It's a loop that starts with exactly at 11 o'clock right now, and then it'll show the rain moving right into Louisville at about 4 in the morning. Here it comes right here. Take a look. That's 4 in the morning right there into Louisville. It's timing that has been locked down for most of the day. And hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us here on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. A flood watch is already in effect for all of the WHAS 11 viewing area until Sunday morning. Let's get the latest on just how much is expected to fall from the skies. Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine with more and when the rain will switch over to snow.
We have a weather impact alert day for all of Saturday. We're going to have that rain moving in, steady rain before sunrise and heavier rain expected after sunset. So we have a flood watch for the entire viewing area. You're going to need all that rain gear if you plan to be out. And if you're going to be traveling, you need to watch out for ponding of water on the roads. Lowland areas, might be some road closures, especially near some rivers, creeks, and streams. So the flood watch is all day Saturday, all the way through 1 p.m. Sunday for every county in our WHAS 11 viewing area. We're dry over the next few hours. After around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, here comes that steady rainfall. So everyone is getting that soaking rain before sunrise. In the afternoon, if we get any breaks, southern Indiana, a slight chance of that, but plan on a pretty continuous rain, a washout through the day. We might get a few thunderstorms late Saturday, but we're not expecting severe weather at this time. And then into Sunday morning, cold air crashing in, giving us a switch over to some snow showers, maybe a dusting out of that, but no significant accumulation expected on Sunday. Now next week could be all below freezing. That could lead to some accumulating snow. We'll look at more snow chances after all that rain tomorrow, coming up in our full weather impact team forecast.
All right, thank you, Ben. Now, once again, you're taking a look at our Futurecast radar, which shows the rain moving into Louisville at about 4 a.m. when it loops right back around here. This big storm system is going to be falling on ground that's already full of water thanks to the snow melt. For some in our area, that could bring flood water that has a devastating impact. WHAS 11 team's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Aspen Hester found Louisville emergency crews putting out early warnings, and the mayor of West Point, Kentucky, already mapping out all possibilities.
The small river city of West Point, Kentucky has an interesting relationship with both the Salt River and the mighty Ohio.
These houses will get flooded every 3 to 5 years, and when I say flooded, they'll get water in them.
Mayor Richard Cirisi has this map of the city in his town hall office. It shows the many areas along the river, like Veterans Memorial Park, that tends to get submerged.
We don't put much down there for this very reason. The playground goes underwater, but all that stuff is pretty easily cleaned up. The people who live right on the river, who have homes on the river, deal with it very well. I mean, you're used to it. Once it gets up to this level, up to Elm Street, it becomes a real problem.
The Louisville Metro is also gearing up for some potential flooding. Right now, the Ohio River looking pretty calm, but take a look at this, showing how high the waters can get, leaving a bunch of junk and mud on Marina's Edge West. It isn't just the docks dealing with flooding issues. Just under I-71 on Frankfort Avenue, orange caution barriers lay on the side of the road, just in case the underpass fills with water. And right next to the Louisville Botanical Gardens is another warning sign telling you to turn around, don't drown. Back in Hardin County, owner of West Point Station Bar and Grill, Yvonne Rep, isn't batting an eye to incoming rain showers.
I've been here, 3.5 years? And they've said flash flooding different times, and I've never really seen it.
Her business sits farther inland than most homes, but she says if anyone has to evacuate, her doors are always open.
So a couple of times when the electricity's gone out, I'm still up, and I've always told them that, if push comes to shove, we can cram quite a few people in here to stay warm.
A community that's seen horrendous flooding several times for over a century. Their park's large marker documents it, but they keep an eye out for each other through hell or high water. In West Point, Jose Alonso, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
Well, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has already declared a state of emergency for Kentucky ahead of the potential flooding. He's especially worried about eastern Kentucky, as you can imagine. He has activated the state's Emergency Operations Center, and National Guard members are right now on standby to respond. Stay in touch with WHAS 11 News anytime and any place during this upcoming severe weather. The updated rain forecast this weekend and any potential flooding updated real time by downloading the free WHAS 11 app. More of our top stories new tonight on the night team. A lawsuit has been filed against Trinity High School in St. Matthews in the Archdiocese of Louisville. Parents claiming the school failed to treat a football player who had suffered a heat stroke during a July practice. Court documents say an offensive lineman on the team was taking reps at a team practice on July 31st when he started showing signs of heat stroke. The suit, filed by the player's mother, alleges that instead of being treated, her son was verbally abused by his position coach and forced to run extra laps. After being forced to run, the lawsuit claims the lineman joined a team meeting and collapsed to the turf while taking a knee, falling unconscious. The lineman was eventually taken to the hospital where his internal temperature was nearly 108 degrees, according to the lawsuit. The suit alleges the teen has suffered organ damage and has had to fight for his life on 2 separate occasions. The family is now suing for negligence, saying their son was never aggressively cooled down as is required by state law. We did contact the Archdiocese of Louisville today. They told us that they do not comment on pending litigation. Tonight, LMPD investigating 2 deadly separate crashes tonight, the first happening around 5:30 tonight. Police say they responded to the rollover crash on I-65 northbound near Fern Valley Road. When officers arrived, they found a white car had rolled over. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. LMPD's traffic unit is working to determine what caused the accident. I-65 there reopened at 7:30 tonight. And from our photojournalist Aspen Hester on the scene of another fatal crash tonight. This investigation is underway on Bardstown Road near Schlatter Road. Now that's just north of the parklands of Floyd's Fork there on Bardstown Road. Police say the crash involved a Toyota Tacoma and a Ford Fiesta. Both drivers were taken to the hospital where one driver died at a short time later. The other driver is expected to survive. As of 30 minutes ago, Bardstown Road was still shut down in that area. Again, this is south of the Gene Snyder Freeway. Crushing cars confiscated from street racers, the beginning of a possible new state law. A bill has now been filed as 2 men accused of racing on the Waterson Expressway appeared in court today. Police say they both reached speeds way over 100 miles per hour. Authorities say Justin Smith right here was driving a Honda Civic at 123 miles per hour. And Jason Wu was behind him in a black Honda Accord at 119 miles per hour. Both were caught by police near the Poplar Level Road exit. Their cars were taken to the impound lot because of Louisville's street racing ordinance. It allows police to seize cars and fine the drivers. State Representative Beverly Chester Burton, a Democrat from Shively, told us she was actually on the Waterson and witnessed the race happen on Monday night.
When the car passed us, I said to my daughter, I said, this is what we're talking about. These type of vehicles that, just take over the highway.
And she has now filed a bill along with Republican Jason Nemus of Middletown that would not only expand Louisville's street racing ordinance statewide, but expand it. The bill proposes on the first offense a $1,000 fine and your car impounded for 6 months. On the second offense, that fine doubles and you risk forfeiting your vehicle to the state where they can destroy it. Both drivers were arrested and charged with speeding, reckless driving, and racing a motor vehicle on a public roadway. They pleaded not guilty to the charges in court today. Now, new developments in a story we've been following closely. A Republican Kentucky lawmaker is setting the potential groundwork for a potential split up of JCPS into smaller districts. State Representative James Tipton, a Republican from Taylorsville, has filed House Bill 162. If passed, it would create an avenue for incorporated cities to start independent school districts. Cities with at least 5,000 people would qualify, meaning areas like St. Matthews, Shively, Jeffersontown, and Middletown would be included. If it became law, incorporated cities interested would then need a certain number of resident signatures on a petition to start the process. After that, people would vote on it at the ballot box. We asked JCPS for a statement on all of this, and here's what they said. Research shows that creating independent school districts doesn't improve student outcomes and could lead to higher tax rates. However, we're glad the bill allows citizens to vote on this issue instead of letting politicians in Frankfort decide to split JCPS. Well, a tax increase has been proposed for Carroll County, Kentucky, upping it by 10 cents. The proposal is coming for the school system to fund facility updates and universal preschool. For a home valued at $100,000 there in Carroll County, this would mean an additional $59 to your yearly bill. School Superintendent Casey Janes says about 60 to 70% of his third graders are not reading on their grade level. Studies show if students aren't kindergarten ready, they never catch up, making preschool crucial. This funding would also help add on to older buildings and improve opportunities for areas like the arts for students.
This is the main push, to improve the education for our current community members and provide opportunities for our students that we cannot currently offer.
But Carrollton residents are skeptical, they told us, with 4 daycares already providing the preschooling prep services. One says they aren't opposed to the tax increase, but want a plan to show how the money is going to be used, a plan they say they have not seen. Jane says there's no current schedule for a vote by the school board on the increase. This comes as Democratic State Representative Ann Gay Donworth of Lexington filed a bill today to make universal pre-K available for all 4-year-olds. Should House Bill 460 become law in its current form, this would start as soon as August. Donworth says this would also help reduce child care costs. Governor Andy Beshear's 2024 budget proposal last session estimated that it would cost Kentucky about $172 million a year to enroll about 34,000 4-year-olds in pre-K. Now tonight, we move to the information from the NTSB in Washington. The Black Hawk helicopter that crashed into an American Airlines passenger jet may have missed key information from the control tower when it collided with the regional airline at the end of January. The new details came during an update on the deadly mid-air collision that happened over the Potomac River. The NTSB says there's no indication that the crew in the helicopter could tell that there was an impending collision before the crash. NTSB Chairman Jennifer Homenday says that a radio transmission from air traffic control telling the helicopter to go behind the plane may have been missed as the pilot keyed their radio at the same second. The NTSB also believes the helicopter crew may have had bad information on their altitude.
The pilot flying indicated they were at 300 feet. The instructor pilot indicated they were at 400 feet. Neither pilot made a comment discussing an altitude discrepancy. At this time, we don't know why there was a discrepancy between the two. That's something that the investigative team is analyzing.
We're also learning the Black Hawk was conducting an annual training flight that included night vision goggles, and the crew was likely wearing the goggles throughout that flight. The American Airlines jet was preparing to land at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport when it collided with the Black Hawk. No one survived.